tried doing Slimming World for a month and gained 2 pounds. We're going to get into how that happened in just a second, but if you are new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on, all that kind of thing. And of course, if you are interested in how I managed to basically break Slimming World, or just interested in the series of diet videos that I've got here on the channel, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up. There is a link down in the description below to the playlist of diet videos. At the moment, it's just this one and Weight Watchers, but we are doing one a month throughout the year, so that will be added to as the year goes on. But yeah, after the success of Weight Watchers last month, spoilers if you haven't watched that video yet, but I lost 18 pounds doing Weight Watchers. I came into this month very confident, expecting to just keep the ball rolling with Slimming World. In my head, it was a similar kind of thing, and I should just continue to lose weight. And I'll throw you straight back to past Kev just to show how excited and up for it he was at the start of the month. Here we go again then. I've just cancelled Weight Watchers and signed up for Slimming World. The first thing I'm noticing is a difference between the two is I've had to pay £60 up front for 3 months of Slimming World. Weight Watchers I could do monthly through the app, so I was able to cancel that after a month. This one I am in for 3 months. I've actually paid £80 rather than 60, so then I get a couple of cookbooks as well, which will hopefully be with me relatively soon, just like with Weight Watchers. I've done this the day I've started rather than getting it already in advance. So I've got the app downloaded. I'm going to have a little explore of that now and hope that it's going to be relatively easy to use so we can continue the success from Weight Watchers last month straight into Slimming World. It became apparent pretty early on that it wasn't going to be that simple though. One of the big positive points that I talked about last month about Weight Watchers was the fact that because of the way the points system worked on that, I could effectively eat whatever I want, track it in the app, and more often than not, as long as I wasn't being absolutely crazy with it, because I got quite a lot of points every day and quite a lot of bonus points to use for the week, and exercise I did gave me more points, I could pretty much eat what I want all the time, never went hungry. I ate pizzas, I ate takeaways, and I still lost a whole bunch of weight. And it became really clear really soon that that's just not how Slimming World works. In fact, a couple of days in, I went down to London and I had to find something to have for dinner, and I ended up walking around pretty much everywhere you can eat food from at King's Cross Station with the Slimming World app in front of me, trying to find out how many sins every option would be and work out what I could actually eat. And whereas if I'd have done the same thing on Weight Watchers, I probably could have gone to Five Guys. Yes, it would have probably cost me about 40 points, but I would have had those points to use over the course of the week and it would have been okay. Slimming World doesn't quite work that way. I'm in a city with more food choices than anywhere else in the country. I could literally have anything I want. I'm having a Waitrose rice and prawns box and some berries and a bottle of water. It's costing me £8, which is more than a burger and chips would have cost. Diets are stupid. Now you got to remember, I'm a big fat guy and I'd been on a diet for over a month at that point. Since the 1st of January I'd been dieting, and that was the first time where I'd really felt like I was missing out and depriving myself, and I didn't care for it, but I persisted, I carried on, I continued trying to follow Slimming World, and then we got to the first week's weigh in. So week 1 of Slimming World done, I only lost 0.4 of a pound, and I think a lot of it is because I haven't been doing Slimming World right for this first week. I've been eating Weight Watchers but tracking it as Slimming World because we had loads of food left over from the shopping that we did, and we were enjoying the meals we were eating, so we kind of stuck to a lot of those, and I hadn't quite got my head around the healthy extras and things. And I think it's only today that I've mastered Slimming World. Yeah, hopefully I'll follow it properly this week and lose a bit more weight again. I think what's actually happened this week is because I was eating so little, because most days I was around 1700 calories when I tracked it into my Fitness Pal as well. I think my body just went, nope, that's too little. We're not letting any weight go this week. Plus adding in the fact that I've been pushing it really hard at the gym as well, so I've probably put on some muscle. So I'm not disheartened. I am still going to do my full Slimming World month, but yeah, not the banging start I was expecting. I'm expecting a big loss this week to make up for it because I'll be doing it right. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, which you should, link is down there. This was the point where I had my little bit of a breakdown about Slimming World on Twitter. It was that weekend because I was really disheartened. Yes, I lost weight, but I lost almost no weight. I felt like I'd been depriving myself and starving myself more than I had at any point throughout Weight Watchers. I was still working super hard in the gym and I kind of felt like I'd had enough. I just wanted to give up or go back to Weight Watchers or just... Slimming World wasn't working for me, but I thought, you know, I've committed to doing this video. I can't just abandon it. So I thought I'd do a little bit of an experiment. And this is where it kind of all went wrong, because I thought, right, I want to work out what I'm actually doing here on Slimming World because I feel hungry. So I tracked that weekend. It was the first weekend of this, the 8th and 9th of February. I tracked everything on Slimming World and tried to eat within reason how Slimming World works. But we did have a meal at my dad's, so I went a little bit over on the Sunday, which is fine. I would have been fine on Weight Watchers. On Slimming World, there's no flexibility for that. But I tracked everything on Slimming World, but I also tracked everything on Weight Watchers, and I also tracked everything in MyFitnessPal, which tracks calories, just to try and get an idea of how much I was actually eating. Why was I feeling so hungry all the time doing Slimming World when that wasn't a problem that I was having on Weight Watchers? So I'm going to put the summaries for each day next to me now. So firstly, Slimming World for Saturday and Sunday up there. So you can see my daily allowance for sins for Slimming World was 35 sins, which I managed to stick to on the Saturday, but I did go over on the Sunday because we went to my dad's. And also as part of Slimming World, you have to eat your healthy extras. Healthy extra A is some kind of source of calcium, so like milk or cheese or mini Baby Well Lights were the main thing I was using for that throughout the month. And healthy extra B is a whole grain source, so something like porridge oats or whole grain bread, whole grain pasta, that kind of thing. So I managed to hit them on the Saturday, but again, because I wasn't fully in control of what I was eating on Sunday, because one of the meals was at my dad's, I didn't actually manage to hit the calcium thing on the Sunday. I could have come home and had a couple of mini Baby Bells, but that would have just been adding more food to a day that the app was telling me I'd already gone over, and it doesn't feel very intuitive to me. So that was everything tracked on Slimming World. I then tracked everything in Weight Watchers as well, which is these ones that you're seeing below. So on Weight Watchers, my daily points allowance at this point I think had gone down to 49 points, but I also had my 40 or so weekly points that I could use if I needed to go over, and plus any exercise I did would generate me more points as well. So again, Saturday I was within it, I had 4 points left. Sunday I went a little bit over, 55 points against a target of 49, but I had the weekly points allowance, which you can see I didn't even touch because I did some exercise that day, so I just used the exercise points for that. So on a day where I've massively missed already on Slimming World, I'm within Weight Watchers and everything is doing fine. And then looking at it just purely as calories, just to try and have a little bit of a scientific look at it as well, this is where I started to question everything, because according to MyFitnessPal, based on my height, weight, age, all that kind of thing, for me to lose weight at £1 a week, so a conservative weight loss, I need to eat 2,725 calories a day. And again, that would increase if I did some exercise that day. So on the Saturday, you can see that I ate 2,286 calories. So I had loads of calories left over. So I'd actually not eaten enough food. I know starvation mode isn't really a thing, but if you eat too little, your body is going to try and cling on to some of that food, and you're going to feel more hungry. This is why I'm feeling hungry, because I'm not eating enough food. On the Sunday, the day that I was well over on Slimming World, remember, this is the Sunday where I absolutely missed by a mile, I ate less than 2,000 calories. That 2,725 target is already based on a 500 calorie deficit, which is enough for you to safely lose £1 a week. But Slimming World, I'd eaten less than 2,000 calories, so I was nearly 1,500 calories under my maintenance calorie target. And Slimming World is saying I've overeaten, way overeaten, and it just doesn't add up to me. And I could show you so much of this. I spent the next couple of weeks tracking everything in both. I gave up on the Weight Watchers stuff because that wasn't what I was tracking, but everything that went into Slimming World also went into MyFitnessPal. And what I was finding is, for me to have a day where Slimming World worked, where I was within my sins, had my healthy extras, and ate a reasonable amount of the free foods, because you do get a lot of free foods, and this is going to be the argument that Slimming World fanatics are going to give me. If you just eat your free foods, you don't need to eat as many Sims, etc. Yeah, I know, but I'm not going to eat 4 chicken breasts and a huge pile of broccoli to feel full. I want a variety of food. I want to be able to eat what I want and just limit it and lose some weight. I don't want to go super clean eating, super extreme. If I could do that, then I wouldn't be fat in the first place, probably. And I just found that for Slimming World to actually be within all of the targets, and with me eating a reasonable amount of the free food, not picking meals just to make sure it was just a free food meal. I am not, and this might be why Slimming World is not for me, I'm not going to have dinner of a dry chicken breast with a half a plate of veg and a dry sweet potato and say, yay, no sins, because that's an awful meal that I'm not going to eat every day. I'm just not going to do it. And I didn't have to on Weight Watchers, and I didn't have to, according to my fitness pal, to be within my targets either. And a good day on Slimming World was coming in at around 1,600 to 1,800 calories on my fitness pal, which if I was if I was an 11 stone woman looking to lose a couple of pounds or a couple of stone, then eating that kind of calorie amount might work. But I'm nearly 24 stone, 6'2" man. Eating that kind of calories on a long-term basis, A, isn't sustainable because it is starving myself, and B, it's dangerous eating that little food. There's a reason why health professionals suggest going into a deficit of 500 calories a day, at most 1,000 calories. But even if you go to 1,000 calorie deficit, they'll say do 500 of the calories from your diet and the other 500 make up with exercise. Don't knock 1,000 calories off what you're eating a day, because you won't stick to it. And even if you do, your body's going to be like, what is going on, and hate everything about it. And that is what happened on Slimming World. I just started to hate it, which then led me to cheat, which then led me to week 2's weigh-in, which I was so disappointed with I didn't even film. But in week 2, I gained 4 pounds, which I then slowly but surely whittled away again as the month went on. This is the graph for my total month, so you can see how my weight fluctuated throughout the month. And I tried as much as I could to follow Slimming World where I could. But the thing with Slimming World is it works if you're at home and you're cooking all your meals yourself and you're controlling everything. But we had 4 days down in London in February where we were eating out every day, and I could have made that work on Weight Watchers, and I could have made it work on calorie counting, but there's just no way to make it work on Slimming World. So I ended up just giving up on the idea for the weekend. I just couldn't be bothered with it. I didn't want to do it, so I didn't track anything the whole weekend we were away. And it by the end of the month, I'd pretty much abandoned the idea of dieting in general. I am back on track now. March is calorie counting month, and I'm over a week in and I'm doing it properly again. But Slimming World just completely demotivated me. I felt hungry and deprived and grumpy all the time, and it just didn't work for me. Like I say, I think if you have less weight to lose, or maybe if you're a woman and have a smaller calorie requirement, then it might be great for you. But I can't help but think, and this is where the video gets cynical, so if you just wanted the results, you've had them now. You don't need to hear the cynicism. But for me, as a cynic looking in, it seems that Slimming World is designed deliberately to keep you doing Slimming World for a long time. Hear me out. This is my theory. It sets calorie targets deliberately too low, because if you go into it with a 1,500 calorie daily deficit and you stick to that for a week, you'll lose a lot of weight that week because you're starving yourself. You've got into a huge calorie deficit. So in short term, you'll drop a lot of weight very quickly. So you'll think, Slimming World is brilliant, I've lost a lot of weight really quickly. But long term, it's absolutely not sustainable. Whether you get to goal weight and then start eating normally and put your weight back on, or give up because you're starving yourself and put your weight back on, sooner or later you'll have to stop following the plan because it's not sustainable, at which point your weight goes back on. And then psychologically, it's like, well, I was doing Slimming World and I lost a load of weight really quickly. I stopped doing Slimming World and then put a load of weight back on. I should probably do Slimming World again and pay them some more money. Because remember, the way Slimming World funds itself as a company is through your weekly subscription or your monthly subscription. They want you paying your £5 a week for years. They don't want you paying your £5 a week for a few weeks, get to your goal weight and you're fine. They want you in for the long haul, and the easiest way to get you in for the long haul is to set it up so that it gives the impression that it works, because you lose a lot of weight really quickly, and then when you stop doing it you put the weight back on. But in reality it's teaching you to eat in an unrealistically restricted way, in an unhealthy manner, to crash diet and end up in a crash diet cycle that, for me, I just don't want to be any part of it. So Slimming World, you are not for me. I know as part of these videos I'm supposed to be scoring all of the diets according to 3 categories. So let's get the scorecard up now. So the 3 things I'm scoring on are ease, results and cost. This isn't going to look good on you, Slimming World. Ease, I felt it was the plan itself is really hard to follow. It's overly complicated with the whole free foods and SINs and healthy extra A and healthy extra B. The app is not very good. The app with Weight Watchers, you could scan barcodes on pretty much any food and it would tell you what the points allowance was. It's the same with MyFitnessPal. You can scan your foods and it will tell you what their calorie amount is, or you can search an enormous database. If I go onto Weight Watchers or MyFitnessPal and search, I don't know, McDonald's cheeseburger as an example, it will be there on their database. If you do that with Slimming World, there's a good chance it's not going to be there, and you have to try and sort of work it out for yourself. The app itself is less intuitive. It crashes a lot. I never actually managed to track a weight in the Slimming World app, because every time I did, it would tell me I'd met my goal weight, and if I lost any more weight it would be unhealthy, and then told me to cancel my plan, and then closed the app and logged me out, and I had to log back in again. Now, I'm obviously very overweight and that's nonsense. So the app just doesn't work. The plan is complicated. And not only that, when you do finally get your head around the plan, which, as I said earlier in the video, took me about a week to really get my head around how it works. But when you do start following it properly, it's unsustainable. I don't think it's possible. And this is where loads of people are going to tell me how they followed it for however long. And if you did, congratulations, good work. I don't think you're going to follow it for the rest of your life, because it's unsustainable. And when you stop following it, you'll put weight back on and then have to do it again. And if you're happy giving Slimming World money for years and cycling through weight loss and weight gain forever, good for you. But for me, ease of following, it's pretty much non-existent. I'm giving it a 0 for ease of following, because it's too complicated. The app doesn't work, and I think the science and the health ideas behind it are fundamentally flawed. Results, there's no getting away from the fact that I gained 2 pounds on a diet. So for results, you've got to give that a 0 as well. And then cost, I need to not be overly harsh on this. Yes, I paid £80. That was 3 months of membership, so £20 a month of membership, plus I got all the bump in paper copies as well. I thought I was getting cookbooks. What I actually got was all this kind of stuff, which, having been to meetings before a few years ago, I know this is the stuff they just give you at the meetings. So I actually paid £20 for the stuff they give you free at the meetings, with the bonus of it saying online at the top. So I felt that was a little bit of a rip-off, because I thought I was getting a cookbook or something, but I guess I just didn't read that properly. But £20 a month, yes, it's more expensive than Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers, I think, cost me $13.99 a month to do, and I could do that monthly. I didn't have to pay that 3 months in advance. MyFitnessPal, which you'll see in next month's video, I think I've paid £40 for the year to use that app, which, as mentioned, is an app that works better. So for the stuff that's like this, it is quite expensive, but in the grand scheme of things, it's much cheaper than doing something like meal replacement shakes, or one of those meal prepping planning things where you get all your meals sent to you. So it's not the most expensive way to lose weight. So I think for cost, we'll give it a 2 to be generous, which gives Slimming World an overall score of 2 out of 15, which puts it bottom of the table. And it's gonna take something spectacular to displace Slimming World as the worst diet that I try this year. We've gone from a difficult to beat best in Weight Watchers to a difficult to beat worst in Slimming World. Let me know down in the comments how you've got on with both of those diets, what you think the pros and cons of them are, what you disagree with or agree with about what I've said, and also how you think I'm going to get on with calorie counting next month, because of course with an 18-pound loss in January and now a 2-pound gain in February, I'm going into the calorie counting video for March, 16 pounds down for the year with still over 100 pounds to lose. So how do you think I'm going to find calorie counting? Let me know down in the comments as well. But if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for more of the weight loss challenge videos, plus the weekly vlogs and all the other stuff we've got as well. And thank you very much for watching.